Yeah, my name is Dafrosa K Itemba. I'm the Executive Director of an organization known as Tanzania Women Research Foundation. We were established in the year 2010 under the NGO Act of Tanzania, which allow non-government organizations to start work in the community. The passion which made us to start this organization was the poverty which was really affecting the community in terms of socioeconomic poverty, in terms of education poverty, in terms of shelter poverty, but also in terms of healthcare poverty. So we set out to address the abject poverty which was affecting our communities. So for us as TAWREF, we try to identify partners who share a common mission, partners who share the same vision. And in this way, it is easy to establish relationships and have long-term partnerships as long as the passion we have is similar. And we really appreciate our partnership with the Vine Trust of Scotland because it is the longest partnership we have had so far, and we know it is there to stay. Why do we maintain this partnership? It's because the Vine Trust are always motivated to work with the communities in Scotland and in the UK in general to raise funds to come and help the communities, because they are also seeing the impact of the work which is happening in the community. Therefore, we believe in partnerships, and we can never achieve anything and we cannot celebrate alone. We know that the whole world is now aiming at global goals, sustainable global goals, development goals, come 2030. And one of the goals is goal number 1110. We are happy that our partnership with the Vine Trust is leading us to achieving that goal. And so it started simply and humbly when the two pastors, Reverend Oforo and Reverend Macpherson, met. Reverend Oforo is from Tanzania, Justin Oforo, and Reverend Macpherson is from Scotland. They met and became friends, and then agreed to share their visions of working for the marginalized communities. So therefore, in the year 2012, we managed to build 5 houses in that particular year, and I can remember those children, who were not even thinking that they would ever have a good home, and they got a home. But then from that year, through the development of a partnership and the impact which was being realized, the number of houses per year went up from 5 to 9, then 12, and then from 2015 onwards, we have been building like 15 to 20 houses per year. This is a tremendous increment compared to the 5 houses which we started with. And in due course, we have been getting, different groups coming, from corporates to church groups to school groups, which have been very much recent. Now we are getting several school groups which come during summertime to come and work with the poor. We are moving on. We are expecting the next group in spring, and our task and our challenge is to be able to improve our work with our partners. But we really appreciate this revolution which has taken place from 5 houses in 2012 to 19 to 20 houses in 2019. I cannot find the right words to use regarding the value the volunteers add to our work, because I always tell them that you do not come here to build physical houses. Actually, you are building more than that. You are addressing a lot of issues which have been affecting the families. So it's a lot of value. the psychosocial relief which is brought upon the families which were stressed throughout the years with poor housing or no housing. The hope, the new hope that is brought into the families, the happiness, the self-esteem. So it's beyond the physical house. When we are identifying the houses before we start opening, they are still very sad families. They are, they don't know whether the house will ever be built. But when the construction starts, if you talk to them, you can even see the smiles already appearing on their faces. And when the handover comes, they are like, is it true? They cry, but they cry for joy. And they are like, this is something which could not have happened to us. And you should have been there to see the handing over ceremonies where people are rejoicing and singing words of praise to God for making this transformation. So what I want to say is that our theory of change at TAWREF is to have families which have transitioned from homelessness to a home. It is difficult to talk about what the volunteers gain. So they talk about learning about the way people here work together, learning about respect in the community, learning about people being poor but happy, learning about the strength of the community. So they learn a lot of things, and so they say we are going back differently. We are not the same. Even the students, from the academies, they say, oh, we are going back differently. We have learned a lot. We have seen the way people work together. They are not having money, but they are happy. The project has indeed brought impact in our community in Kilimanjaro. And I would like to visualize this with this family of Stella and Christina and Michael. Stella's husband died in the year 2015, and actually the house which he left behind was almost falling down, and she had to put up with his brother-in-law's house for all these years, until this year when the church brought an application to us to be able to support this family. But before that, before we started building, we realized that Christina was not living with her mother because of poor accommodation. She had to go to live in Arusha with her aunt and do her secondary school there. So Stella was living with Michael in a small room in that house there. The house is there. And one of the impact which I can share is that there has been family reunion from Christina living in Arusha with an aunt joining the mother. What happiness is this? It's great happiness. It's a big transformation where the Divine Trust is trying to put families together. And from now onwards, Stella with Michael and Christina will sit down and eat together. They will sleep under the same roof. She will be able to raise her family all in one roof. This is a big impact. But I just wanted you people to see that today has been a very great day for this family because the reunion is taking place and Stella will be happy to take care of her children together. So I cannot find the right words to tell the volunteers because they don't only provide the physical support, but it is psychosocial support which they bring on the families. And we have looked at some of the performance of the children. It has gone up at school. Some of the parents who were sick, I remember one family, this lady was HIV positive, so when we started visiting her, she and her daughter, herself and her daughter were AIDS patients. and they were all very, very weak. But when we went to visit them 1 year later, the mother looked very healthy, and the daughter, who has stopped going to school, had started going to school, and they were all very happy. Yet. So I always tell them, you give with one hand, but you will receive with another hand. The right hand gives, the left hand will receive. The more you keep giving, the more you keep receiving. So we thank the volunteers for taking their time to come, for forsaking their holidays, for forsaking their resources, for supporting the children to come and help their fellow children. It's a big difference, it's a big transformation, and thank you very much.